Hello, today we are going to make a rubber band racer, just like the one you just saw racing across the carpet. This is a car entirely powered just with rubber bands, and we're going to show you exactly how it works and how easy it is to make one. Now, to make one of these today, you're going to need the following things, which we've laid out here. You're going to need 2 skewers of the sort that you might find in the kitchen drawer. You'll need a couple of old CDs, 2. You need a pair of scissors, some sellotape, 2 straws. You'll need 7 rubber bands, a piece of cardboard. Now it's good to have a piece of cardboard that's about twice the length of your straws and is a little bit shorter than the length of a straw, like that. You'll also need 4 bottle caps. Now you need to have little holes in the top of the bottle caps. So get mum and dad to give you a hand and they can punch a hole with the skewers right through the middle like that. You don't want your hole too big, so just use the skewer to put the hole through. Now, this car works through potential elastic energy. So I've got a rubber band there, just like this one. Now I'm sure you've all used rubber bands before. I'm sure you've all flicked them at people, just like that. When you do that, you're actually using elastic potential energy. So when you have something stretchy like this, and you stretch it out, you force it and force it and force it, you're building up more and more potential energy in there, just like that. Just like somebody firing a bow and arrow. So with everything we have here, making a rubber band powered car is quite simple. Start with your piece of cardboard like this. Now what you're going to want to do is fold that piece of cardboard in the middle, so that way you'll make it a bit stronger, because it's going to need to be fairly strong to keep the rubber band in place. Grab a couple of pieces of sellotape and stick the ends down just like that. So it should look like that, and you've got a nice strong piece of cardboard. The next step is to take your 2 straws. You want to attach the straws with some sticky tape, just like that, at each end of your piece of cardboard. Don't tape them down too hard, because you want to be able to put the stick through the middle of the straw pretty soon. Take the second one and do the same thing down the front. So another piece from the top should look like that. Grab your scissors, and the first thing to do is just chop the ends off your straws. So we're not going to need them to be quite that long. Just give them a trim, like that. And now you should have your piece of cardboard folded over, taped down with the 2 straws, just like that. This next bit is slightly more complicated, so watch closely. You're going to need to make a hole in here so that you can attach the rubber band a little bit later on. So take your pair of scissors and you just need to cut a square shape through. This can be a little tricky, cutting through the 2 layers of cardboard and the straw. So if you need a hand from mum and dad, now's the time to ask. When you've done that, you'll see that we've cut through the straw there. We can fold this up, take the scissors and chop it off. So we should have now a piece of cardboard with a gap in the middle and the straw with a gap, just like that. So now we're going to insert our axles. Just like a regular car has axles, our car will have axles too. So take your stick and put each one just through your straw like that. Make sure that when you put it through the back one, it goes through both of the straws like that and leaves a little bit of wood in the middle. So when you turn it over, it looks like that. Now take your little bottle caps, which effectively become your wheels, and we're going to need to stick those onto the ends of the sticks. This can be a little bit tricky. So what you'll probably have to do is take this out, stick that on the end, and you'll see I push it through like that. Now put that through here, and you've got a wheel on one side. Grab your other one, stick it on there, and you can see we now have down the front of this a set of wheels. Do the same on the back. So take the stick out, feed the stick through, put the stick back through the straws, and attach that on the end there. Now once that's done, you should have the basic structure of a car. You've got your wheels down the front and down the back. But as you'll notice, this one has bigger wheels down the back. And there's a reason for that. We'll get onto it in a moment, but before we do, we'll attach these CDs to the back, and then I'll explain why we need the CDs on the back. So grab a CD, like so. Take a piece of tape and just cover up that hole in the middle. So you can see we've got a bit of tape just in the middle there. Take the CD, and using the stick, push the stick through the tape like that. And you can see the stick is sticking right through. Now to make sure that CD stays on the wheel, we're going to need to come in close, get a piece of sticky tape and attach the sticky tape to the bottle cap on one side like that. Grab another piece of tape, turn your wheel around and stick that tape on there. And you'll see that now this wheel is nicely attached and spins really well. So you can do the same on the other side. Another piece of sellotape over the hole. Push the stick through there. And now do the same thing with your tape on the other side as we did on the other wheel. Tape that CD onto your bottle cap. Can be a little bit fiddly, so if you need mum or dad, now's the time to ask. And when we're done, we have a perfect set of rear wheels on the back. So it looks a bit like a drag racer. If you don't know what a drag racer is, well, you're probably too young. So you've got this all set up now, and we're just about ready to put the engine on. Now the engine, of course, is one of these. So take your scissors and cut your rubber band in half. So you should have a nice long bit of rubber band like that. Take one end of the rubber band, and if you come in close, I'll show you what to do. Take one end of the rubber band and carefully put it around the axle and just tie it in a little knot. If you're not very good at knots, and I am not very good at knots, you might need some help here. When you've done that, just tighten it up and you're good to go. When that's tightened onto the spindle, grab another piece of sellotape here, and you want to tie down or tape down your rubber band part way along. Now it's quite important here that you tie another knot at the end of this rubber band. So tie a little knot, otherwise when you tighten it up, it'll just slip out from underneath the sellotape and the whole thing won't work. So that'll just take a second. It's done. If your wheel comes off, like this one just has, obviously haven't used enough tape. So tape it a bit more into position until it's nice and strong and you can roll it back and forth. Now with this little bit that you've tied on here, you'll need to put a little bit of sellotape on that too. So take another piece and just put it on there like that, wrap it around. Doesn't have to be super tidy, it's just to help hold it in a spot there. So wrap that around so it looks like that. Now we're just about ready to go. You've got your engine in the form of your rubber band, and to build up some potential energy, as we talked about, some elastic potential energy, you can spin the wheels here and you can see the rubber band wrapping round and round and round there around your axle, building up energy. Now when you let it go, the wheels will go. But because the edges of the CDs are really smooth, if you're using them on carpet, your wheels are just going to spin. So we're going to need to put some tyres onto our CDs, and that's what our final rubber bands here are for. And all you have to do to put some tyres on is just take your rubber band like that, put it around the CD, grab another one, and you can see from the back what it looks like. Put that around the CD crosswise. So you can see we've now got 2 rubber bands crossing over. Then take a third one and wrap that around as well. So it should look like that. So you can see you've got little bits of rubber all around the edges that act just like a tyre. Do the same on the other side. So put that across. And another one. And spin the wheels to make it easier. And one more. So if you come up close, you can see behind the wheel how they're all wrapped around. You don't have to tie them off or do anything complicated like that. Just wrap it around. Now you're ready to go. So turn this until you start building up a bit of tension in your rubber band. You can see the knot that we've tied has been pulled right into the tape. You can see the rubber band turning a little bit white as it builds up more and more pressure. And I've actually turned it so I think we'll go backwards. Put it down, let it go, and off it goes. Now, the harder you turn it, the faster it will go. So the more you twist it and twist it and twist it, the more elastic potential energy you'll build up, and the faster it'll go along the floor. Have a play with it, see if you can make it go even faster. You could try different kinds of wheels. You can even try putting 2 rubber bands across here so you get twice as much power in your wheels. Have fun.